the channel. I'm Don. I do non-pop country music reactions. And you saw the artist, Waylon. And Waylon's about as non-pop as you're going to get. He's no nonsense, too. So Kyle Perkins, KP, made a gift to the channel for me to do a reaction to this. It's actually a review because I did it about 4 years ago. And so Kyle wanted a new reaction, a fresh reaction to it, let's say. So we're going to do that one. So thank you for the gift and request, KP. And I'll swap out hats. Kyle's in Beaver, Utah. I love that. That hat etched it in my brain that you sent me, Kyle, because so many times I'm like, when I did the unboxing, I'm like, oh my God. You forever are associated now with Beaver, Utah. All right, Revelation. Maybe I should have worn my Jerusalem hat. I've been to Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, been to Israel.
Somewhere in Vietnam, a 19-year-old soldier walked out of a barroom. And he said, I must be seeing things. That bourbon hit me like a baseball bat. In Belfast, Ireland, a little lady dropped her shovel in her garden. She raced across the yard and asked her neighbor, Mrs. Clancy, what was that? In Memphis, Tennessee, a teacher raised the window closest to the river. And the children in her classroom swore they heard a choir singing down the street. In Washington, D.C., a private secretary's lips began to quiver. And the president just put aside his papers and rose quickly to his feet.
Such good development.
I lay in a cheap motel in the arms of someone else's woman, when a loud explosion rocked the room and turned the morning into night. I jumped out of bed and ran into the street with hardly any clothes on. As the sky lit up, my heart stood still and I could feel my face was turning white. All at once the clouds rolled back and there stood Jesus Christ in all his glory. And I realized the saddest eyes I had ever seen were looking straight at me.
That would suck.
I guess I was awakened by the penetrating sound of my own screaming. And it didn't take me long to stumble out of bed and fall down on my knees. As tears rolled down my face, I cried, Dear God, I'm thankful I was only dreaming. And if I never go to hell, Lord, it'll be because you scared it out of me.
Yeah. Yeah, see? That's about as, yeah, that's non-pop, folks. As we know, that is one of those things that, regardless of what your faith is, if you could put yourself in the shoes, so to speak, or partially in the mindset of another person, whether you believe in Jesus or not, atheist or not, what he values is that Jesus is returning and is going to be the judge, and whether you go to heaven or hell, you know, the classic idea, really. And it's for him, it's like, oh my God, he was doing wrong. He was with another man's woman. And he was ashamed of that and scared straight type of thing. It's uh, these kinds of stories of how people decide to kind of get more, I guess, greater morals and ethics, if you will, however you define them or explain your own ethics and morals. We want to sort of keep the peace among folks. And people, there are folks in my other channel, I've done a number of videos on theological topics, right? Lately, I've been doing reactions to police videos. And as a social philosopher, I look at a lot of different components of society and analyze arguments, look at behaviors, and so on. And there are those who say that, like, the typically very hardcore atheists, the argument is that all religions are started over war and religion is the cause of all the evils in the world and all this. And that's just flat out wrong. There is a lot of good that is done. You could look at St. Jude's Children's Hospital, just to off the top of my head. Very few wars are started in the name of religion. They're generally started in the name of either a land grab or I got to get you before you get me and all that. So in this case, this is case in point, an individual case in point where one guy, he had this dream that the Lord appeared to him and it scared him because he was looking right at him, but he was sleeping with another man's woman. And he knew it was wrong. What he was doing was wrong. And that dream scared the hell out of him. And I like that turn of phrase too, or where he brought that in, where he's going to presumably at least try to change some of his behavior to reduce the negative component to planet Earth. So I just love the way that narrative was developed. You just hear, okay, where are we going with this? We got different parts of the world in Ireland, and you got over here, and then in the plane, a teacher opens up the window, and the idea is that everybody's sort of looking up to see, because as depicted in the book of Revelation in the New Testament, clouds will part and seven seals and all this kind of stuff, but Jesus will return with the uh, trumpets and archangels and all this stuff. And I mean, decades ago, I mean, I ran with a pretty fundamentalist Christian group decades ago, back shortly after college, and for a few years. And I got out of it because it was too oppressive. But yeah, learned a lot, studied a lot, challenged a lot. I challenged them a lot. They didn't like that. Not to be a pain in the ass. I had legitimate questions. Certain things weren't lining up. But I just remember thinking, like, when I was in college, I got hammered a lot. Most people do. But after college, I have not been drunk since. And it's just not my thing. But I remember way back then, I remember thinking, man, it would suck if you're hammered and Jesus comes back. And I'm like, I don't want to be hammered when he comes back. So, it can provide this conscience that kind of, whether there's a God or not, I don't know. I mean, you got to die to kind of find out in a sense, generally. That's my view of it, anyhow. But it keeps us in check. It kind of keeps us in check. It says, all right, you may not matter enough to me to not do you wrong. But there's this eye in the sky that ultimately I may have to pay a much bigger price for it. That's going to keep me in check. So KP, that's a heck of I just love that. I don't know what I did I don't know what I rated it the first time around. I might not have rated it because it was like a theological topic, but it really wasn't. It was really a statement of his own conscience, how it worked, the input variables, if you will, or what was in there. And it was a song of gratitude. I'm going to rate this one this time around. I don't know if I rated it the first time, but this time around, I'm going to rate this one. And this one to me is a 10. And it isn't even necessarily because I agree with the content. It's not it. The narrative development in this was brilliant. The suspense was brilliant. The impact it had on him was brilliant. Whoever wrote this song got exactly what he or she was going for. And then just the guitar picking was gorgeous. It's like when you're hanging on the edge of your seat the entire song. And this wasn't preachy. I hate being preached at. Most of us do. This wasn't preachy. This was just a self-revelation, really. Self-realization. Did Jesus reveal himself to him or not? It was a dream. Everybody has their own view of it. So that's a 10, KP. That's beautiful. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Keep your nose clean. And see you in another video. And keep rocking the country.
In Memphis, Tennessee, a teacher raised the window closest to the river. And the children in her classroom swore they heard a choir singing down the street.